On today's Into Your Head, number 663, feminine sanitary items in the Garden of Eden, maintaining a clean dental record, earthing an aircraft to the ground, how to interpret swearing and rudeness positively, how the brain works, Russian doll style stationery, random crap falling from space, and lots more. A lot to get on with today. Items that need to be attended to, issues that need to be addressed, topics. Oh, topics. We've got lots and lots of topics. We're positively booming to the seams with topics. We've got topics coming out of this envelope. This envelope. I have an envelope here. An envelope, basically. People get very confused about these things. An envelope is basically anything that can be used to envelop another item. For example, another envelope. In fact, now that I look at it, there is another envelope inside this envelope, although it's referred to as a mailing bag on the label, because it's more of a plasticky thing. It's an envelope, though. It's not. Let's not get bogged down in nounal verbal technicalities. It's an envelope inside an envelope. An envelope inside an envelope it'll always be until such time as I permanently remove it. I'm putting it back in now, so I suppose for a couple of seconds there it was an empty envelope and another empty envelope. I presume it was empty anyway. I didn't look inside. I've got better things to do on this program than go examining envelopes, looking inside them to see if there's some other envelope inside them. This isn't a freaking Russian doll stationery program. No, this is Into Your Head. As far as I can remember, in recent history, the first ever time where I started talking into this microphone within only a few minutes of brushing my teeth, and I used a particularly fresh tasting toothpaste this morning. I feel that it's affecting my voice. My voice seems weird. My voice feels toothpastey. It usually feels coffee-y. I've been caffeinating myself up. But after I finished drinking the coffee and just before I started doing this, I brushed my teeth. It's called dental hygiene. You can't be leaving crap sitting all over your teeth, because one of these days you're going to get murdered, and the only thing left that they'll be able to identify you by is your dental records. And in order for your dental records to be of any use, they'll have to get out the remains of your teeth and have a look at them. And if you haven't cleaned your teeth that morning, I can tell you, it'll be no use having fresh underpants on. That's not going to protect you if you haven't cleaned your teeth. So I brush my teeth a couple of times a day. I don't floss, because I'm not a freaking American. You Americans love that. Oh, you say, have you flossed today? There's no point brushing your teeth, you'll say, unless you've flossed and poured some sort of alcoholic substance in and swirled it around and then spat it out into the sink and flushed it away. That's your American attitude to alcohol. It's the thing for washing your mouth out, but you're not allowed to swallow it because that makes you an alcoholic, supposedly. No, if you got alcohol, drink the fucking alcohol. That's what it's for. One day now, the government over here is going to put a minimum price on alcohol. I can tell you, then you'll be glad of it, and that you have stockpiled. I should be stockpiling it here. In fact, maybe I'll start making some with that homebrew kit I've got for Christmas. Just seems like a lot of work, though. Not that I'm afraid of work. I'm not afraid of work. I just don't like it. It doesn't mean I won't do it. No. Just because you're afraid of something doesn't mean you won't do it. I've been up in aeroplanes up in the sky that don't even have anything touching the ground while they're up there. It's not like a thing standing on. Would air travel be? Here's a question for you. Would air travel be less scary if every aeroplane had by law a big long stick coming out of it that was like an artificial foot, so it could keep one foot on the ground at all times? Maybe just a piece of string, an earthing wire fear of some sort, like what you have. That thing that comes out of cars that some people have, people who get car sickness, they have a thing that hangs down out of the back and earths it to the ground or something. But you have one of them coming out of the aeroplane, obviously you start getting hit by them when you go out to walk your car. You'd start getting hit by these things, but it's better than that mythical thing about people who get hit by frozen crap coming out of an airliner's toilet, which doesn't happen. Of course, if it does happen, feel free to let me know. Give me evidence of what landed on your head, and I'll have a look at that, and we'll see. But otherwise, no. The science is in your face and the crap isn't. So who are you going to believe, the science that exists or the crap that doesn't exist? Because it's being flushed away safely into a tank underneath the plane. It's not doing any harm to anybody. If it's doing that, I'll tell you, they would not think. Do you really think that this country that looks after its people so well would allow frozen crap to be dropped on people? No. Those are just frigging things from space. Things from space, like what landed on Russia last week. A thing from space landed on Russia and tragically injured hundreds upon hundreds of people. Can you imagine if that was a piece of crap from a plane? The outrage there would be. No, but because it's not crap from a plane, no one's outraged. They're just saying, oh, look how vulnerable we are. Space owns us. That's a piece of crap that's been floating around space for billions of years, and they just randomly decided to fling it at Earth. But nobody's angry at space for doing that. They just think, oh, it's just doing its natural thing. It's just like it's just like when you see a zebra being hunted down by some sort of, whatever kills zebras, I don't know, a tiger or something. You don't say, oh, that tiger is a cunt. You do not. You say, oh, that's natural. Let's get some old fella from the BBC in to commentate over it, and we'll remake it in 3D digital ultra, and we'll just say, this program contains scenes that some people may find distressing, those who have morals and who don't like watching death. But for the rest of you, it's nature, so it's fine. As long as it's nature, it's fine. If I'm an axe murderer by nature, I have genes that cause me to do axe murderer, I can just say I have that thing. It's like the violent equivalent of what's that thing? You know that thing where you involuntarily swear and stuff? If there was a violence version of that, you could just get away with it. You can just say, oh, I have thing, except instead of swearing every couple of minutes, I punch people in the face and kill them. Wouldn't that be? That would be something. It would be something if it was the case, but it's not the case, so it's just a thought. It's just a thought here. We're just thinking here. Don't panic. I'm not suggesting anyone go out and hit anybody in the face or drop crap from a plane. We're all just talking here. You're not even talking. You're just listening. I'm just letting stuff out of my brain. If you let stuff out of your brain first thing in the morning, as I'm doing here, it means you won't be having nightmares about it. So tonight I can be damn sure I won't be having any nightmares about being hunted down by some fella who can't stop hunting people down, I don't know, or by a tiger, or by a frozen piece of crap from space. Anyway, on with the show.
Hello, this is J. Edgar Casey, and whenever I am listening to fine podcasts, I tune into your head program because it's very clean.
Haydn's Trumpet Concerto in D minor. That's what they call it. They call it Haydn's Trumpet Concerto in D minor. Back in the old days, they used to give proper descriptive titles to songs. If you analyse this, you know, it was composed by Haydn, it was a concerto for trumpet, and it was intended to be played in D minor. Nowadays, of course, they'll just say, do you suffer from long-term memory loss? I don't remember. Do you suffer from long-term memory loss? I don't remember. Do you suffer from long-term memory? That's pop music for you nowadays. That's the pop music of, well, admittedly of 15 years ago. Well, that's when my following of music stopped. I have no interest in music anymore. The only music I'm interested in is the music I make myself here. Let's have another go on this thing, this mouth thing. Oh, I'm holding it wrong. You're supposed to do this, and then you're supposed to have your mouth slightly open, and you have it against your teeth, and then you do. Oh, there you go. I'm going to try and do a different Chumbawamba song on this here now. I'll do that one. How's it go again? I can't remember. That big hit that Chumbawamba had. Bollocks. I'll just do Bohemian Rhapsody. Pull like sugar, now he's dead. Life had just begun. But now I've gone and thrown it all away. We'll make that a multi-parter. We'll come back to that on another episode. Because Bohemian Rhapsody goes on for approximately 6 or 7 minutes. And I'd probably play it slower than that because it's my first time playing it on that particular instrument. So no, we don't want to get bogged down in that. If I do that anyway, people will say, "Oh, you're just impersonating Wayne's World. That's all been done before. You're ripping off Wayne's World. You better be. Oh, there's an email from Boots the Chemist. Have you noticed how everyone's having makeovers at the moment? No. We've even given our health and beauty mag a revamp and stacked our shelves. Fuck off, Boots, with your crap. I'm only subscribed to you so I can collect extra credit and get free drugs off you occasionally. Anyway, where was I? Oh yes, Wayne's World. If I were to do my own version of Wayne's World in the middle of a podcast here, they'd say, "Oh, you're ripping off Wayne's World." Wayne's World created the idea of ripping off Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody, and if someone else does it, they're ripping off Wayne's World. So put that in your... But people really don't like when you copy them. They don't take it as a compliment at all. They say, "You're ripping me off." If I go on Twitter and say hello, someone else will say, "Oh, Mark Maron said hello earlier. You fucking rip-off artist. Come up with your own material. Come up with something new." And then you'll say, "That wasn't meant of it as a joke of any kind." And they'll say, "That's even worse. You can't even be funny when you're ripping off someone else." Even I can say hello, but I don't because it's not original. They'll say it's not original. People have been saying hello since the beginning of time. Adam probably went up to Eve just after she was created and said hello, and she probably said, "What the fuck is that supposed to mean?" And he probably said, "Oh, it's a greeting. It's what you say when you meet someone." And she'll say, "But there's only 2 of us here, unless you count God, I suppose, the supreme being and creator of all this crap. Did he create the word hello too? He must have used it when he was creating it, unless he doesn't test stuff that he does he not have a quality control section where he tests stuff before he puts it out into the ether, or does he just create these words that have never been used?" It's like when you get if you buy an iTelephone online and you get it off Apple and it turns up, do you think you're the first person who's ever switched that on? No, it's being tested. Same if you buy a car, that'll have at least a couple of miles on the clock because somebody tests it. But no, you expect to say this word hello and you think nobody has ever used it before. Who the hell do you think created it? Somebody did. Or how would you know about it otherwise? Or if it's a word that you just made up, then there's no point saying it until you've taught it to the rest of us. Have a bit of fucking because they're using your own secret code now to communicate with only yourself that no one else can understand. What the fuck would be the point of that? And Adam said, "I'm surprised you're swearing already. It's not. I thought we were in the paradise here with free of sin. Did you eat an apple by any chance?" And Eve says, "What's an apple? What the fuck is an apple? I don't like apple. I prefer, you know damn well that at this time of the month I want chocolate, not fucking apples. I'd eat a snake if I have thought I had chocolate inside it at the moment, or else I'd use the snake as some sort of sanitary device. But let's not go down that road. I don't think it would fit anyway. have to chop a bit off, and then there'll be extra blood on top of what we're trying to deal with. So no. Anyway, two snakes slide up to a bar in the Garden of Eden. One of the snakes goes straight up to the bar counter and says, "Hello, that didn't last very long, did it?" And the barman says, "What? Oh, you mean this tree, this dead tree that I'm using as a bar counter? It didn't die of natural causes. I chopped it down. Did you realise this stuff, you can use it to make wood? You can make furniture and stuff out of it. Thank Christ I discovered that, because my arse was getting very sore and cold sitting on rocks. And it's very hard to find a level one that you can use as a bar. Anyway, what can I get you?" And the snake says, "I'll have a pint of your finest apple juice, please." And the man behind the bar says, "Certainly, snake. Wait a minute, do snakes eat apples?" And the snake says, "Well, I think we're about to find out, aren't we? I'm new to all this, just like you. I was just created today. When were you created? You're not a human, are you? Because I was pretty sure that Adam and Eve haven't figured out the whole reproduction thing yet." And the barman says, "Oh no, I'm not a real person. I'm just a hologram. They put a few of us service holograms around here just until Adam and Eve get going with the kids thing, and we'll disappear away in due course. We've been told to keep a low profile because he doesn't want them to know that he could just have holograms. Anyway, once they figure out how to do it, then they'll be away in a hack. Anyway, pint of apple juice haze, here you go." And the snake says, "Oh, thank you very much. Any idea how I go about drinking this?" And the man says, "I'm pretty sure you just wrap your mouth around it and let it slide down into you. It's quite funny to watch, in fact." And the snake says, "I'm sure it is." And he wraps the pint bottle glass of snake juice around his mouth, around inside his mouth, and swallows it, and you see a glass-shaped thing go halfway down the snake inside it, and then the snake starts choking and dies, and the hologram laughs. Well, it's not a very realistic laugh. It's an artificial, pre-programmed one. It doesn't really mean anything. He's not being mean. It's just a program created by God. And who are you to criticize a program created by God? No, you're nobody. Anyway, on with the show.
Into your head.
This is an advertisement of sorts. It's to facilitate those of you who like this show and want to support her by supporting the podcastual arts, and to let you know that you can do so without it costing you an extra penny just by using my fine shopping affiliates. Not just Amazon.com, Amazon UK and Amazon.ca, which you can use anytime. I get a cut of the action whenever you shop through my Amazon links, but there's also loads of new ones now. We have allbattery.com. They sell all batteries. If you need a battery for your cat or your car or your shoes or wherever else you need batteries for, shipped to your home, get them through the All Battery link on my website. You can also get shoes from a new place in New York that ships everywhere. They have an easy return policy. You can also buy prescription glasses, worldwide shipping. A couple of my listeners now get their glasses from there on a regular basis, and all of these purchases help the show. You can also get web hosting with DreamHost, the people with whom I've hosted Into Your Head and all of my websites for several years now, with no major problems. I'm very happy with them. No plans to change. You can sign up to web hosting for only $8.95 a month. There's a free trial. DreamHost. Just go to intoyourhead.com, scroll down the left side of the page, and you'll see all these ads. Any of them that you buy stuff through, I get a major cut of the action, and it helps the show. And thank you very much for supporting the podcastual arts.
Into your head. Into your head.
I know what you're thinking there. You're thinking, are we back yet? Can I take my hands off my ears? Because I don't want to have to listen to commercial stuff in the middle of a free podcast. I want no hand act or part in supporting a podcast that has given me 663 episodes in the last 6.5 years, on which the host has almost worked himself to death doing it. Well, that's understandable. Just fuck off. That's all I can say to you. That's all I can say, and I mean it in the best possible way. I mean, fuck off in the best possible way. What would be the best possible interpretation of fuck off? Well, that's not for me to say. Only you can decide what you make of the world around you and how you see it. You might see the words fuck off written up in the sky and go, holy crap, did a plane do that? That's amazing. That's a remarkable achievement. I'm going to remember this for a long time to come. Where's my video camera? Or you could say, Christ, the sky is telling me to fuck off now. See, it's all a matter of attitude. Attitude is everything. How you see the world. And if you hear me telling you to F off and you take it badly, that's on you. It's not on me. It's not on me at all. Although if I take the fact that you're taking it badly, that's also on me. That's why I say feel free to take it badly or whatever way you want. Doesn't bother me, because I won't let it. I won't let it bother me. Shoe fly, don't bother me. Shoe fly, don't bother me. Shoe fly, don't bother me. I don't need your company. That's a song. That's a song we used to learn when we were kids on some cartoon from America. Or was it Sesame Street? I don't know. Sesame Street is pretty much a cartoon from America. A real action cartoon a lot of the time, but it's pretty much a cartoon. A cartoon doesn't have to be drawn. It can be real people living in the bullshit world. That's a cartoon as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, on with the show. Two bar attendants walk into a lounge. One of the bar attendants walks straight down to one of the comfiest looking sofas before realising that there's a person sitting on it, and they think, Christ, this is my break time. So technically at the moment this lounge in which I work is also my rest place. All employers are required by law to provide a suitable rest place, so he thinks, would it be in my rights to grab this person by the head and pull him out of that sofa so I could sit down and have my statutory 10-minute break? And he thinks, yes, I probably would, but then he thinks I probably shouldn't do it nonetheless. And then he thinks, that's interesting how the brain works. You can think that you can come to the conclusion, perfectly reasonable, that it's okay to do something, but that he shouldn't do it nonetheless. And he thinks that must be the morality part of the brain, or else the part of the brain, the self-protective part of the brain that knows you could get into some sort of trouble for that. And he thinks, isn't the brain fantastic? The brain is fantastic. He's dead right about that. The brain is, well, most brains are fantastic. My brain is fantastic. It's coming up with this crap. Your brain is fantastic because it appreciates this crap. But if you were to find a cow out there, sitting out there in that field across the road, for one thing, it would be a miracle because there were no cows there. It's a field where they grow stuff rather than a field where they grow animals. They grow non-animal things. I suppose it's the same thing. Tillage farmers like to separate themselves from animal farmers by saying, no, we grow stuff. They grow creatures. We grow stuff. We grow stuff that's not going to eat your cat. That's maybe not the case. The cat can just as easily get lost in a badly maintained crop of nettles that you're growing for some frigging some frigging cosmetics company and get itself stung to bits. So don't get all cocky tillage farmers just because you don't have any. Is a tillage farmer the right word? Maybe it isn't. The one for the people who grow food rather than animals. I don't know how to grow. I don't know. They're all growing food anyway, but still, nonetheless. That's not really the point though. I can't remember what the point was. Did I start this with two? Oh no, I didn't start this with two anything. How did I start this? I don't know. I only started at 2 minutes and 47 seconds ago though, so surely to Christ I should be able to remember how this started. Was it? I don't think it was the two barmen walk into the lounge thing. That was the previous segment, wasn't it? Oh no, it was. It wasn't. No, that was this segment. It must have been, because the previous one is labelled after break. And after the break, I know I said something about the break. I don't know. I don't know. I'll find out when it's done, I suppose. Suffice to say, two dogs walk into a field. One of the dogs goes straight up to the middle of the field and says, "Christ, what is this place?" And the other dog says, "Who said that?" And the first dog says, "Who asked that?" And the first dog says, "I don't know. There seems to be loads of dogs in this field and they're all asking who said that." And the other dog says, "Maybe there's just the two of us." And then the other dog says, "Well, who the hell's talking then?" And the other dog says, "Who said that?" And the other dog says, "Wasn't me. Oh no, wait, maybe it was. I don't know. Maybe it was an echo." And the other dog says, "You're right, maybe it was an echo. That in itself was an echo though, wasn't it?" And the first dog says, "I don't know. How do you define an echo? Does it have to sound exactly right like the original thing? Or can it be slightly different? Can the words be changed slightly because by the bendiness of the sound waves or something? I don't know. Frankly, this is a bit over my head. As is the stuff that's growing in this field. I can't see a fucking thing." And the other dog says, me neither. Maybe we should go back the way we came or eat our way out of this." And the other dog says, "I don't know. Are we not carnivores or something?" And the dog says, "I don't think so, because they could put peas and pasta and stuff in dog food, don't they?" And the other dog says, "Well, how come they don't just give us peas and pasta and stuff then?" And the other dog says, "Because they're not going to cook a fucking meal every time we're hungry. They only cook a meal every time they're hungry." And the dog says, "I suppose that's fair enough in a way, although in another way it's not." And the other dog says, "I'm inclined to agree with you there, I must say, and a great night is had by all." This is the beginning of the end. It's the beginning of the end of this show as we know it. So it's about to come to an end. This episode anyway. Don't panic. Nothing else is coming to an end. We survived the thing falling on Russia. We all survived the big meteorite falling on Russia out of nowhere. And we're all still alive here at the other side of the world. So it's all fine. So me ending this episode of Into Your Head in a timely fashion as planned, that's not going to be a problem for anyone. So just relax there, take a chill pill. Not everything has to be a big panic, you know. There's more to life than panic. Sometimes life is just allow life to fly by like you would when you're sitting on the bridge watching water flowing. You don't think, "Oh Christ, that water is all flowing away down to the sea. It'll never be here again." It will be there again. It'll evaporate eventually and it'll fall again as rain on top of a mountain, and it'll make its way back. It mightn't necessarily be the same rain, but no, there's more than one drop of water available. They can recycle water until someone crops a house as diarrhea, in which case I don't wonder, do they recycle diarrhea as water? There's a question for you. Do they recycle diarrhea when I send it down my toilet? Do they recycle that as water eventually? They have to do something with it I'm sure. Or do they dry it out and then recycle it as normal crop? I might look that up later. If I'm a bit bored tonight in bed, I'll do a little search and find out what happens to watery crop as opposed to solid crop. Should we be doing something with it before we flush it to make it easier for them to work with? I don't know, because they say you shouldn't put non-toiletry items down the toilet. Paper towels, for example, you shouldn't put them down the toilet. But what if, for example, I produce something that has the consistency of a I don't know, something that's too thick to go down the toilet, and I flush that? Does that cause a problem for somebody then? I don't know. All I know is I hope we're paying them enough. Anyway, good morning.
Remember, we value the opinions of you, the humble and ignorant listener. Email Neil at studio@intoyourhead.com.
Into your head.